The Calgary Flames are at a point where the lineup looks different in pretty much every single game, with new line combinations in what seems like every period. After the Flames earned a hard-fought point in Boston, head coach Ryan Huska once again tweaked his lines at practice, meaning we will see a new combination for tomorrow's game, with some shocking changes that many Flames fans have been waiting for. It kind of has some big implications. So we're going to get into all that and more in this video, but first, I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm your host, Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. Let's hop in and talk about last night's game first and foremost. And look, the Flames did end up taking the L in this one, but it wasn't just an L, as they add an OT to the beginning of that to get the OTL. They did end up getting the Daryl Sutter point in this one. Very hard fought. You know, it would have been great had they been rewarded for their comeback and their effort with the 2 points, but unfortunately they do drop this one 4-3 in overtime. Back-to-back OT games on this kind of East road trip they're on right now. Super fun going against two of the most storied franchises in the NHL. Both games are quite exciting going to OT, but unfortunately, again, did not pick up the W in this one. But there were some good stats to look at here. At the top there, you see Dustin Wolf. He does end up not getting the win in this one in the start. Gave up 4 goals on 38 shots. 38 shots Wolfie faced last night. That is plenty. 375 goals against average and an 895 save percentage. But again, he honestly played really, really well. He kept the Flames in this game. It looked like it was going to get away from them pretty early on, but he kept them in there and did end up earning that point, obviously. He wasn't too happy with taking the loss at the end there, but still a great game from him. He really is becoming a legitimate #1 goalie in this league, which is great to see. The other people who got on the score sheet, we saw Barry, Kadri, and Sharangovich all get goals. Great to see them. Sharangovich finally getting on the board, and so good to see the others there. The assist, we had Weegar, Coronado, Kirkland, Lomberg, and Ball. Crazy how many assists both Kirkland and Ball have picked up so far this season. They are on heaters. I'm pretty sure it's them with, Andersson, and I think they might be the tops of the Flames right now. I think Zari's in there as well for the most assists, which is great to see. Honestly, not a bad effort overall, especially in the third period. But once again, the Flames proving they might only be a third period team. But one thing I really liked from Eric Francis here, he wrote after the game, was Dustin Wolf's night ended with him smashing his stick on the boards as he left the ice at TD Garden Thursday night. However, if not for that paddle of his, the exit would have come a lot earlier. He used it and almost every other piece of his equipment to help the Flames steal a point against the Bruins in a 4-3 overtime loss. I couldn't have put it any better. He honestly really did stand tall in there, putting everything he could in front of the puck, because when you face that many shots, you're bound to, probably give up 1 or 2. He ends up giving up 4 here. Not his fault. He really, really tried. So great to see the progress he is making. But like the title of this video says, the Flames kind of did some shocking changes here. So let's talk about the change. Now, it all stems from a certain place, and we all know what that place is. It's so funny how sometimes this works out. Yesterday, recorded a video right before this was announced. We were speculating that Mantha would be put on IR, and then, of course, as soon as the video goes up, he was officially put on IR, but here you go. Earlier on Thursday, the Flames put Mantha on injured reserve and recalled Dryden Hunt from the Wranglers, where the 28-year-old had 2 goals and 8 assists in 12 games. Hunt didn't dress, but will be with the team in time for Saturday's 11 a.m. Mountain Time start in Buffalo. It'll be interesting to see if he's in the lineup. Probably won't be, but at least he's up there. Despite several youngsters impressing in the minors, this move makes sense as there is only 1 game left on this roadie, and the odds are he'll remain the 13th forward. It allows Wranglers hot shots like Rory Cairns, Jacob Pelche, and Sam Honzik to continue logging big minutes instead of watching from the NHL press box. So it did totally make sense for Hunt to come up. We'll have to see if that's the case once the Flames are back in town, but we'll just have to wait and see. So what changes did this spark? The line combinations look insane, and ready to prepare yourself because they kind of are shocking. Here you go. Flames new look lines and pairings at practice in Buffalo. The top line already, Zary, Kadri, and Sharangovich. So a bit of a switch there. A very entertaining type of line. They all bring something a little bit different to the game. That should be fun. And here's the big one is this second line. Huberdeau, Pospisil, and Kuzmenko. I think a lot of fans have been waiting for a line like this to form. Pospisil, a bit of a shocking change, putting him back at center after he didn't start the year too well there. But putting him between Huberdeau and Kuzmenko, that could end up being such an exciting line. I don't know how they'll do in the defensive zone, but oh my goodness, this could have huge implications if this line starts to pop off. The offensive potential in this line is ridiculous. Obviously, they have a bit of fire there. It'll be very, very interesting. I mean, I know most Flames fans will probably end up being disappointed. I'm getting our hopes too high here, but that looks really, really exciting if you ask me. Third line and fourth line do remain the same from the game against Boston. Obviously, Coleman, Backlund, and Coronado making that great third line, and then Lomberg, Rooney, and Kirkland once again. Ball and Andersson together, Weegar and Miramanov. The only change defensively is that Bean is back in for Barrie, even though Barrie scored in the last game. But we will have to see if that ends up actually being the top 3 D pairings heading into tomorrow's matinee against Buffalo. But that is pretty nuts. And I think there's a reason why Pospisil was shifted back to center, because you know, after the Edmonton game, we were a little harsh on him taking that penalty, and it wasn't exactly great. But again, from the Eric Francis article, he wrote this. So Pospisil is on the right side of the line. Much has been made about Pospisil's proclivity for taking bad penalties, particularly in the offensive zone. He took a lot of heat for a costly penalty in a recent loss to Edmonton and was promptly demoted to the 4th line for a spell. So it's only fair to point out times when he finds himself on the other side of the ledger, turning his ability to agitate into a penalty for the opposition. A perfect example of what came in the opening minute of the 3rd period when he helped turn the game around for the Flames. So credit where credit is due. He really stepped up in this one. Going out of his way to give the ever volatile Marchand a tiny bump after an offside whistle, Justin Brazeau immediately jumped in while Marchand retaliated with a glove to the face that earned him a sit down. It was the spark the Flames needed as Sharangovich redirected a MacKenzie Weegar shot on the power play that trimmed the Bruins lead to 3-2. Kadri would later tie at 3-3, setting the stage for a well-earned point that started with Pospisil's sandpaper. So that's the Pospisil we need, and he's being rewarded for it already by getting a bit of a promotion here. He gets to play with, well, Huberdeau and Kuzmenko, who in some ways are, it's not a huge promotion, but it's up from the 4th line and definitely being recognized for his hard work. That's the guy we need. We need him to be kind of what Tkachuk was, before Tkachuk ended up getting traded away. And it's finally seeming to happen in this game. That is the Pospisil we want to see. And that's why, it is a bit of a shocking change that these lines look so different. But in a way, it could have big implications if Pospisil continues to play like this and can gel with Kuzi and Huey. We'll just have to wait and see, of course. Now let's wrap this one up with the comment of the day, as we love to do. And this was a good comment here from a regular around the channel, the Flames Digest family. It comes from ZMALQP555. And he says, "What a great game. 2 talented teams to overtime. Wolf is wired. We lost nothing fun to watch. Thank you, Flames." Such an entertaining game. I mean, personally, I was out watching the Ravens game instead. What a Thursday night football matchup it was. But the Flames were also on, and it was so, so exciting. 2 great teams having a great matchup. And seeing Wolf play this well is it just fills you with a nice warm feeling on the inside, and hopefully we can get more of that as we head into the future. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe like we saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.